Tennis icon Margaret Court has thrown her weight behind Israel and the Jewish community amidst its ongoing conflict with Palestine. The two nations have been at loggerheads since 1948, and the current hostility between them reached an all-time high following Hamas attack on Israel in October 2023. 2 years since then, peace seems a far-fetched dream despite the declaration of a recent ceasefire. In a recent interview with The Guardian, Court spoke about standing in solidarity with Israel in these trying times. She isn't happy with how the Australian government has handled the matter, and warned about severe consequences if people don't side with Israel, this being a Judeo-Christian nation. I thought the Australian government did the wrong thing. They've wobbled their way back into line with the Americans, playing it like a chessboard. But it's very sad. We need to stand with the Jews in this tiny little nation. I think there's a price to pay if you don't, Court said. Court was also appalled at the lack of education regarding the Holocaust in Australian schools. She has taken matters into her own hands because of it, conducting a talk at her church led by a descendant of a Holocaust survivor. It concerns me that children are not learning about it in school, Court said. Court's views with regards to Israel stem directly from her staunch religious beliefs. A devout Christian, she became deeply involved in her faith and eventually became an ordained minister following the conclusion of her tennis career. She continues to be fully committed to the day-to-day workings of her church. However, her conservative views have isolated her from the modern tennis community, despite her status as a legend of the sport. Margaret Court still holds the all-time record of most major titles won in singles among female players at 24. Serena Williams fell shy of matching it, ultimately capping her career with 23 major titles. Only one other player, Novak Djokovic, has managed to tie the record, though he has since struggled to surpass it. Court also won a record 64 major titles across singles and doubles. Despite her considerable achievements, she often finds herself sidelined due to her personal beliefs. She stands firmly against the LGBTQ community, and at one point even supported the apartheid in South Africa. Thus, unlike her fellow legends of the sport, Court isn't a prominent figure in tennis these days. People have even called for the Margaret Court Arena at the Australian Open to be renamed due to her views. However, she has remained steadfast in her beliefs despite the constant criticism.